Alright, what's up guys? It's Ethan here, and today I'm coming to you from right here at the Bourgeau Lake, Bourgeau Mountain Trailhead, and I'll be hiking in to Bourgeau Lake and possibly up to Harvey Pass and some other lakes. And I will explain more as I start the hike. Alright, what's up guys? Welcome to Banff National Park in the stunningly beautiful Canadian Rockies here in the Canadian province of Alberta. I got here yesterday afternoon, spent most of yesterday in Calgary checking out the city and eating some delicious food, and if you're ever up in this area, I would highly suggest it. Calgary's a beautiful place, really cool city. But of course, the real reason I'm here is to hike and to explore and have an adventure. And that's exactly what I'm doing here today. So, this hike is, the total hike actually takes you all the way up to the almost 10,000 foot Mount Bourgeau, which 10,000 feet up here is way above tree line. Tree line starts at about 7,000 feet here. But I'm not going to be going that far today. If I did Mount Bourgeau, that would be about a 15-mile round trip hike. So I'm at least going to Bourgeau Lake. It's a very beautiful alpine lake at a little over 8,000 feet. And after that, I'll have the option. That's going to be about 4.5 miles in. So that would be about a 9-mile round trip hike just going to the lake. But after that, I'll have the option of going in further and heading up to Harvey Pass, which is, I believe, at about 9,000 feet, and is going to have some spectacular views of the surrounding mountains. And I believe there's also a few more lakes that you can hit on your way up to Harvey Pass from Bourgeau Lake. But that would be about 13-mile round trip hike, so a little long considering that I have other hikes planned while I'm out here in the Canadian Rockies. But either way, no matter what I end up deciding to do today, this is going to be a beautiful hike, really awesome, and I can't wait to show you guys. Banff National Park is Canada's oldest national park, gets about 3 million visitors a year, so it is a popular spot, but there's a reason for that. It's incredibly beautiful up here. There's lots of, just endless hiking trails, lots of ski resorts, beautiful resort towns, and hot springs, and it's just a great place to go and spend a few days. So I'll get back to you guys a little later. There's going to be a lot of views, waterfalls, and other cool things to show you on the way into the lake. Well, there hasn't been much in the way of views on the trail so far, so I thought I'd give you this little peek through the trees to a couple of taller peaks. This is a really beautiful area. When I was driving in here from Calgary yesterday, I was just blown away by the scenery. And down there you can hear the Bourgeau River, very full right now from all the snow melt and recent rainfall they've had up here. Feels really good to be doing this on a day when there's a 0% chance of rain, because apparently they've been having one hell of a rainy season here so far this summer. And the trail's a little muddy in some spots because of all the rainfall, But I mean, it's just beautiful. I mean, look how green everything's covered in like moss, and it's just incredible up here right now. I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing some wildflowers a little higher up too. But this is a, you know, subalpine forest here, and despite the fact that I'm only a little over 6,000 feet right now up here, that would be like the equivalent of being at, you know, 10,000 feet in Colorado. So it's definitely a very thick subalpine, like spruce and pine forest. Very beautiful. And of course, being that this is the Canadian Rockies, there are definitely grizzly bears out here. This is both black bear and grizzly country. So you always have to be prepared. So I am carrying bear spray. Bear spray, I found out, for any American travelers wanting to come up here, it is legal to bring bear spray into Canada as long as it's EPA certified, which most is. So I didn't have to buy my own bear spray. Regular pepper spray is not legal in Canada, but bear spray is. All right, well, I've been doing a lot of switchbacks since leaving the trailhead. Already gone up a good amount of elevation, and so far it's been all forest. There hasn't been many views. I've gotten a couple small views through the trees every once in a while, but nothing really worth showing you guys. So I'm just waiting for the views to open up a little bit more. But it's really nice and peaceful out here. I actually haven't seen anybody else since starting the hike, but I didn't get started until almost 9:30, so there's a lot of people that started before me, and I'm sure I'll end up seeing a lot of people that are on their way back to the trailhead as I get further into the hike. But right now, I'm just enjoying this peaceful walk through the forest. And yeah, those are really the extent of the views I've been getting. You can see little bits of the mountains through the trees every once in a while. But like I said, nothing really worth showing you guys on the video, so I'm gonna keep it going. Some beautiful wildflowers up here. And for the first time on the trail, some spectacular views of the mountains. Incredible. Way down there is the it's called the Bow Valley. That's where, like, a little bit, you can't see it from here, but a little bit further away from here, out of view, is where the town of Banff is. But look at these mountains, just incredible looking. So first views on the trail, and you can thank an avalanche for that, because as you can see, this is clearly an avalanche path through here. But yeah, some really awesome views. And I am continuing to head up the trail. Look at that view. That is incredible. Down there is all the forest I came up through, and there's a little lake down there with some beautiful looking turquoise water. And these mountains are just spectacular. Starting to see a lot of wildflowers. This is great. Looks like I'm heading back into the forest, so I don't know when the next viewpoint will be, but that viewpoint was certainly worth the climb to get up here. That was amazing. All right, well, come out to another little clearing here on the trail. Really cool. I'm more than 2 miles in now, so I'm getting pretty far back here. And thus far, I've only seen one other person, and he ended up being a cool guy. We ended up sitting here talking we were hiking together and talking for a while. His name's Todd from New Hampshire, so he's a cool guy. The mosquitoes are starting to get a little bad out here, but man, it is just so beautiful up here. Like I said, there hasn't been a whole lot of views on this trail. It's been a lot of hiking through the forest. I did pass by one little stream crossing with a little waterfall, but nothing super crazy. But whenever the trail opens up like this for a second, you do get some views. I mean, there's some amazing views. If you look up there, there's actually a little waterfall up there. You can hardly see it though. But yeah, it's a beautiful place. All right, well, getting a nice view to a really big waterfall coming down from a little glacier up there. That is super cool. That's a big snowmelt waterfall. Excuse me, I dropped my trekking pole. But yeah, it's really beautiful out here. This I mean, you know, this is the Canadian Rockies, so this is very reminiscent of like Glacier National Park in northern Montana, because, you know, I mean, Glacier is kind of like a little bit of the Canadian Rockies that extends into the US a little bit. So the forest looks very similar, the mountains look very similar, but it also does have its differences. But I'm loving this hike so far. I mean, so far it's been a lot of hiking through the forest, and then you get a nice little viewpoint when you get to a little clearing in the trees every once in a while. Had about, 3 or 4 of them on the trail so far, but it seems like the higher up I go, the more frequent they get. And I was looking at the map, I should have about maybe a little over a mile left to get up to the lake. All right, a little view down the valley. Really cool. Some of the mountain peaks up there, and then a waterfall right up in front of me here. Really cool stuff. This is a really beautiful area, and I wish you guys could just smell what I'm smelling right now. The pine scent is so strong here that it almost has like a bit of a citrusy smell. It's really nice. Oh, there's a nice little waterfall here on the trail. And then down the valley a little bit. Very cool stuff. So, looks like we're gonna cross the creek here. Keep heading up the trail that way. And it looks like you just kind of got to cross it. There doesn't seem to be any no bridge or anything like that, obviously. But wow, this is really cool. All right, well, the trail got a lot steeper after leaving that waterfall, and it looks like I'm now over top of the waterfall. I can hear it down there, but the view is amazing. And these mountains are just so cool to look at. This has been a really awesome hike so far. But yeah, once you get past that waterfall, the trail gets a lot steeper. I mean, it's not anything insane. It's just very steep switchbacks. But you quickly get rewarded with some spectacular views. So no complaints there, and you can see the river, creek, whatever it is down there. Really cool stuff. I'm not too far away from the lake now, so I'm getting really excited about getting to see that. All right, well, as you can see, the trail is very steep and rocky, and the mosquitoes have gotten really bad too. Seems like the higher up I go, the worse they get. But luckily, I just passed by a couple of people that let me borrow some bug spray, because like the genius that I am, I didn't bring any. So thank you to those guys, because I was getting eaten alive there for a little while. But according to them, I'm only about another 10 minutes from the lake, and I'm at about 6,800 feet right now. So I've gone up about, I think, like 1,600, 1,700 feet from the trailhead. But yeah, this later portion of the hike is definitely steep. All right, well, I'm up near 7,000 feet now. I'm like 5 minutes or less from the lake, and the trail is finally leveled out after doing some very steep switchbacks for a long time. That last portion of the trail, you climb 800 feet in less than a mile, so keep that in mind. It gets very steep at the end, even if you're just heading to the lake. But man, is it beautiful up here. Look at all the peaks you can see from here. It's just really incredible. Only problem is oh my god, the mosquitoes are so bad up here. It is rough. Cool thing though is this looks like it would be a good spot to see a moose. I didn't really look up too much info about this trail, so I'm not sure, you know, what kind of wildlife is commonly seen on the trail, but this area here definitely looks like some good moose spotting territory. But I'm almost there, guys. Almost to the lake. Man, look at these views. This is so cool. Look at this beautiful cirque that I'm in right now. This is incredible. I'm just over 7,000 feet, so I'm right about, you know, pretty close to the tree line. So things have opened up quite a bit, and despite how bad the mosquitoes are up here, this is really cool. I didn't get a chance to get him on video, but I just saw a marmot over there, a big marmot. Wow. Can't wait. The lake should be like right over in here somewhere. Can't wait to see the lake. This is already just so incredible. All right, here it is, Bourgeau Lake. Incredible alpine lake up here. Wow. There's Mount Bourgeau up there. Harvey Pass is over there through the trees. And this is really cool. There's back the way I came. Very nice. All right, well, I decided to climb up the scree slope a little bit to get away from that crowd of people down there, and also to get a better view of the lake. And I mean, the water in the lake is just gorgeous. And so that's Mount Bourgeau up there, and that's where this trail ends. So you can take this trail all the way from the trailhead back there on the Trans-Canada Highway all the way up to that summit up there, and I believe that's about 9,800 feet, something like that. I don't know the exact elevation, but you can see that cascade up there. That, I believe that is where I could be wrong, but I think that's Harvey Pass up there. It might actually be, I don't think it's up that way. That looks a little too steep. I mean, that looks like you'd get into some serious technical climbing if you tried to go up that way. So I believe Harvey Pass is right up there. It doesn't look, or actually it definitely is, because I can see the trail right there crossing that scree slope. It doesn't look too horrible, so I'm gonna consider it, but I honestly doubt that I'm gonna hike all the way up to Harvey Pass. It's just, you know, making it a 12-mile, I mean, this is already a 9-mile round trip hike with like 2,000 feet of gain. So making it like a 12-mile round trip hike with 3,000 feet of gain, that would be quite a lot considering all the other hikes I have planned for this weekend. But no matter what I end up doing, this is an incredible, I mean, if I end up turning around here, this is a great place to turn around. I mean, this is an incredible, spectacular alpine lake up here in Banff National Park. Beautiful. There's a huge marmot right there, eating some leaves. Standing up on his hind legs. That's really cool. I've never seen that before. Seen tons of marmots, but I've never seen one doing this. And I swear the marmots up here are like twice the size of the ones in down in Colorado. Just look at them going to town. That is so cool. That's the third marmot I've seen on this hike. But there he is, just right there, going to town on those leaves. Look at him. He's huge. This is really cool. This is a really cool little animal sighting here on the trail. This is so crazy. He doesn't really care about me at all. I mean, I'm trying to give him a little bit of space, but he's just right on the trail and he doesn't care about me at all. And this honestly might be the biggest marmot I've ever seen. He is a big, big guy. I'm literally standing like 4 feet away from him right now. He doesn't seem to care. Wow, I can't get over this. Yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but I'm sorry I'm interrupting your meal, buddy. I gotta get through. Wow. This is one hell of an animal sighting right here. This is really cool. Alright, I think I can get by him now. Wow, this is so incredible. So there's Bourgeau Lake down there. And we got another beautiful snowmelt waterfall up there. There's Mount Bourgeau. And I'm on the trail heading up to Harvey Pass. I don't know if I'm gonna go all the way up to the pass, but there's some more lakes up here. I believe Harvey Lake is the next one, and I'm at least going to try to get up to Harvey Lake. That will be about 5.5 or so miles in, which would make this a 11-mile round-trip hike, and I think I'm okay with that. It's pretty steep through here, lots of scree and loose rock, but I would like to see at least one more lake before turning around, so I think I'm going to keep pushing ahead a little bit further. It's just so beautiful. I thought about, I was originally planning on just turning around at Bourgeau Lake, but I thought about it. I was like, man, it's so incredible. I just want to go a little bit further up. Tell you right now, this is going to be rough coming back down. This is one hell of a scree slope. But my God, is it incredible up here. And the weather's holding out really nicely so far. There's Bourgeau Lake down there. Mount Bourgeau up there, which still looks very far away, because it is. But wow, this is fantastic. Everybody keeps telling me how beautiful Harvey Pass is, and I certainly believe them, but I just, after all the walking around in Calgary I did yesterday, and the fact that I'm still planning on doing a couple more hikes here in the park, I just don't know if I can do a 12.5 mile round trip hike. I really only intended to go to Bourgeau Lake, and even with just adding Harvey Lake into the mix, that's going to make this over 11 miles round trip, and I think that is long enough for me. I should be getting really close to Harvey Lake though. Not too much further up. All right, here's lake number 2, and lake number 3 is just up there, so I'm going to lake number 3. Everyone keeps telling me how beautiful Harvey Pass is, and I believe them, but I'm just not down for going all the way up there today. But I'm definitely going a little further in than I originally intended. But man, is it worth it. It's amazing up here. There's a lower lake that I passed by earlier, right down there. And then the upper lake is gonna be right over there. I'm gonna go check it out. And I'm really thinking about this here because Harvey Pass is right up there. I mean, it's pretty damn close to here. And that last little portion there would be a steep climb, but it's really close. And I mean, every single person I've passed by coming down since leaving the first lake, they're all telling me that the views up there are just like incredible. So it's really tempting right now to just say fuck it and go all the way up to Harvey Pass. I might do it. Now, of course, that's going to be a lot longer than what I originally intended this hike to be. I originally intended this hike to be a 9-mile round trip just to Bourgeau Lake and back. And this would make it 12.5 miles round trip, and also add another 1,400 feet of elevation gain onto what was originally planned. So, but I feel like I'm so close. I don't know. I'll think about it. I'm really thinking about it. But anyway, I got some time, so I'm gonna go check out this lake over here real quick. Well, you can kind of see the lake over there. It's a very small lake. I'm not going any further than this because this ground is just like, I'm sinking in every step that I take. It's very soft and squishy and muddy. So I'm gonna get back to the trail because this is not fun to walk on. You can see, look at this. Every time I take a step, the whole ground just sinks down. I'm not trying to lose a shoe back in here. This is just so cool up here though. This is definitely one of my favorite hikes that I've ever done. I mean, just look at that view. That is incredible. That is like an unbeatable view. There's a better view of Upper Harvey Lake. And just look at these mountains. They're so cool. And I'm almost there, guys. I can't believe I ended up coming all the way up here, but I'm almost at Harvey Pass. All right. So I think this is the third lake, and this is the official Harvey Lake, I believe. And wow, it is amazing up here. It is absolutely amazing. So I'm gonna hike around this last lake, and then just up ahead there will be my stopping point. All right, guys, welcome to the spectacular Harvey Pass here in Banff National Park in the Canadian Rockies. Over 8,300 feet, and man, this is incredible. Look at these views in every direction. Wow, it is stunning up here. This is a once in a lifetime view for sure. It's a long hike up here, 6.25 miles one way, making for a 12.5 mile round trip hike with over 3,500 feet of elevation gain, but it's worth every step. This is just spectacular. I mean, unreal. This trail has everything. The views views are stunning. The forest you hike through the first, 3-4 miles is incredible and just so peaceful. The alpine tundra you walk through is amazing, and then the views up here. You get to see 4 lakes on this hike, 4 alpine lakes. I mean, how can you get any better? How could you possibly ask for a better hike than this? This is one of my favorite hikes of all time that I have ever done. It's official. And if you look here, the trail doesn't end here. It keeps going up here, and well, eventually I can even see there's like 3 people way up there near the top of the ridge. And over there, that is Mount Bourgeau, where this trail officially ends. And Mount Bourgeau is, I believe, another 1,200 or so feet higher than this. So it's just under whatever, I don't know exactly the elevation, but I know it's like just under 10,000 feet, which up here in the Canadian Rockies is some serious elevation. So if you're looking to do that, it's another 2 miles from here at Harvey Pass. So you'd be looking at about a 14.5 mile round trip hike with almost 5,000 feet of total elevation gain, because it's about 3,500 feet just to get up here to the pass. So, but oh my God, this is amazing. This is just spectacular. This is a one-of-a-kind view here. And it's a little breezy, but the wind isn't like too bad, so I think I can definitely sit here for a little while and take a well-earned break before starting my long hike down back to the trailhead. Wow, I can't get over this. This is so amazing. This is so mind-blowingly beautiful. All right, guys. Well, I'm leaving Harvey Pass and starting the long descent back to the Bourgeau trailhead. 6.25 miles and 3,500 vertical feet away from where I am right now. It's getting a little windy up here. I'm in a t-shirt right now, and honestly I'm actually considering throwing my wind shell on, but I'm kind of holding out because I know that once I get on the other side and start heading back down towards that upper lake, that the wind will stop, so it'll feel a lot warmer. But I just gotta say once again that this is definitely, it's gotta be top 3 favorite hikes I've ever done. This is just so incredible, and I'm so glad that I decided to come all the way up here to the pass, because it was well worth the effort. I mean, I'll give you one last look. I mean, that is so cool. And getting to see not 1, but 4 alpine lakes. I mean, it was definitely worth it getting up here, guys. So if you're planning on doing this hike, if you can do it, I would highly recommend coming all the way up to Harvey Pass. And if you're really feeling bold, make it a 14.5 mile, almost 5,000 vertical feet hike, and go all the way up to Mount Bourgeau. Go big or go home, right? I promise I'll never say that again. But anyway, guys, I'll get back to you when I get further down the trail. And I'll just admire all these views on my way down. So I'm about to head down this last really steep section of trail before getting back down to Bourgeau Lake. But I did want to point out, I need to correct myself on something. Originally I was saying that this was Mount Bourgeau, and actually it's that. I showed it to you from the other vantage point at Harvey Pass, but from here at the lake, I assume that this was the peak that the trail goes up to, but it's actually that one up there. So yeah, if you're down at Bourgeau Lake, you look to your left, and the peak to the left on the left side of the lake, that is Mount Bourgeau. And like I said, it's like just under 10,000 feet at the summit. But I did just encounter that guy Todd again, who I met on the way up, and he told me that it wasn't all that great going the extra 2 miles up to the summit, that it was just a kind of a slog, and the views weren't really much better up there than they were at Harvey Pass. So makes me glad I didn't do it. But I'm getting close to being back down at Bourgeau Lake. I just got to head down this very steep scree slope, and this part right here is by far the steepest section of the trail, as far as up to Harvey Pass. All right, well, I just passed Bourgeau Lake again, and from here it's just going to be probably about 4.25 miles from where I am right now back to the trailhead. And there's going to be, you know, a mile or so section coming up here once I get out of this valley, where it's going to be steep switchbacks. But then once I get back to that waterfall, it'll just be kind of, you know, moderate downhill, and or either moderate downhill or flat the rest of the way back to the trailhead. Except I do know that there is one short uphill section on the way back. I remember that, but shouldn't be too bad. And with views like that, my feet may be aching a little bit, but it's well worth it to be out here. All right, guys, well, I'm back down here at the waterfall, and I decided to take a short break. My feet are pretty sore right now, so just take a little break just to drink some water, eat some snacks, and get refueled, re-energized for the rest of the hike. I got about 3 miles left, so it's not too much longer, and all the, you know, hard stuff is behind me. You know, there's like a little bit of uphill, maybe just like a little bit more of uphill on the way back, but for the most part it'll just be a steady descent for about 3 miles back to the trailhead from here. So, and I'll tell you, my feet are sore, so I'm taking a little break, but this ain't a bad place to take a little break. It is just so beautiful. I can't get over the beauty out here. Really cool. All right, well, this is the last stream crossing on the hike, and as you can see, this one actually has a bridge, which is pretty nice, because the other, I believe there's 3 other stream crossings on this hike, and none of the other ones have a bridge. So, but anyway, obviously I'm back down in the forest. I believe I got about 2 miles, maybe a little under 2 miles to go, and I'll be back at the trailhead, and I'll tell you, that will be a welcome sight, because I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty beat. It's a tough hike. It's not like overly difficult, but the distance definitely makes it pretty tough. 12.5 miles for, at least for me. I know some people can put in some serious miles, but for me, 12.5 miles in one day is quite a bit, especially when you add in the 3,500 feet of elevation gain and some of that class 2 stuff that was up further up the trail. All right, guys, well, 12.5 miles later, I made it back to the Bourgeau Lake trailhead. That was an incredible hike. Really, I mean, that was one of my favorite hikes of all time. So here's the gate at the trailhead, and here's the parking lot. My car's right over there, and I am excited to sit down and relax, man. That was a long hike. I'm definitely ready to call it a day. So, it took me about 8 hours to do this hike, and I'm sure that some people could probably do it faster than that, but that's about what it took me, was 8 hours. So really cool. Definitely worth it. Definitely worth the longer day and all the elevation gain and everything like that. It was pretty awesome. So if you're looking for this trail, it's right on the Trans-Canada Highway, going eastbound. It's on that side of the road, and it's about 13 kilometers west of the town of Banff. So if you're trying to come up here, that's where it is. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel for more content in the future. And I'm not done here in Banff yet. I got a whole another day in the park, so I can't wait to show you guys some more cool stuff. See you on the next one, guys.